What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 5. Tonight was one of the best episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville. One of the top episodes ever. When Carlos King hyped this up before the season started and said Episode 5 was going to be the episode and that the last 5 seconds of it would be iconic, he did not lie. Let's get right into it. So we start off exactly where we left off last week with KeKe and Tisha getting into it at Black. KeKe comes outside and catches Tisha on the phone with Kimmy, telling Kimmy everything that just happened. And she was like, but you don't want me to talk to nobody about you. Facts. I mean, factual. Ving Rhames did not tell one lie with that. But it's like people want to say you can't talk to this person, you can't talk to this person, you shouldn't do that. Child. It's just like, Tisha wanted to get mad at her because she had a conversation about her to Mel. But then we find out that you in fact told your cousin's whole business to your friends. It's like the contradiction of it all. Like, how dare you? So Tisha was like, I told you we talked about it and I don't have another 3 hours to talk about this. I apologize to you for the 100th time. I don't know what more you expect from me. And I was like, oh, now you getting back exactly what you gave Kimmy last season when you kept on bringing up the same shit over and over and over again and wanting her to apologize and kiss your ass. So this gene must run in y'all family. The need to be right and to punish people over and over and over again. So they continue to argue back and forth, and Tisha was like, me and you can agree that if we weren't family, we wouldn't even speak. And KeKe was like, yeah, we wouldn't. I was like, but you was mad when Kimmy said that to you at the reunion. Like, Tisha is one big ass contradiction. Like, she is a walking, talking contradiction. So then she says that KeKe got to figure out this situation between them because it's on her. She leaves it in her hands. She's washed her hands of it and she's done. But we, of course, know that this situation between her and Ving Rhames is far from over because Wanda haven't even kicked in the door yet. So Martell goes to visit Marsau at Scout in one of his little skeet suits. Them crotch of them pants was like, oh my God, it is hot in here. Jesus Christ, we can't breathe. Ball number 1, can you breathe? Ball number 2, can you breathe? Like, his balls was being strangled by them tight ass trousers he had on. So they sit down to talk, and he tells Marsau that Mel didn't bring the kids to the signing, and that he reached out to her, gave her enough time, and how divorce is so hard, and that she said she wasn't bringing the kids because it was her week. And of course, Marsau was like, oh my God, that's real bad, man. I just can't believe she did that. I'm like, Marsau, do you believe anything that come out this nigga mouth? Like, really? He's supposed to lie on you, but you believe anything that come out this nigga mouth? Shut up. So, he also then goes on to say that Mel doesn't answer his phone call, so he has to email her to get in contact with her. And, he does that so he can have documentation of everything. Child. Martell's so full of goddamn shit, but okay. So, he then tells Marsau that as far as his incest wine goes, that he has one more sampling that he wants to do before he goes public with it, and he wants to do another ATL boys trip. And Marsau makes a face like, what? Like, you sure? And Martell was like, not that kind of trip. So you admitted right then and there that y'all was on some bullshit back in the day on y'all boys trip, where they knew that your ass was out here hoeing, and God knows what they was out here doing as well. Like, if you just pay attention to what these niggas be saying, they tell on themselves every fucking episode. Tisha and Kimmy, listen up. Listen up. So Martell asks to come back to Scout and buy into it. And I'm looking at this nigga like, so you was too lazy and dumb to sit down and get your builder's license or whatever that license is that he needed to get. This nigga just said, fuck that. Martell is one of those people where he is going to latch on to any and everybody, so he does not have to do the hard work. He wanted to hype himself up for the first 3-4 seasons, making it seem like he was the brains behind everything, and because of him they were so successful. But we saw as soon as they got divorced that he in fact was not the brains behind him and Melody's success, and he has been struggling ever since. He tried to latch on to the dude last season with building shit. What happened to that? Now you trying to take your ass back over here to scope because shit ain't working right for your ass. Instead of sitting down and buckling down and doing the work, he would rather just go and work under other people and leech off of them. Girl, ugh. So Marsau says that he has to talk to Tisha because, you know, they are both, you know, stock owners or whatever in the company or whatever. So he was like, how about we move slowly and we do Destiny's Salon Suite together to see how we work together again. And we're going to talk about Destiny and these finances in the second child because it's so much to unpack. So they decide to go that way, but you can tell on Marsau's face in that scene that he was looking like, nigga, what? He just didn't have a heart to tell him right then and there that, nigga, we are never doing business with each other on that level where I would actually let you have stake in something. Like, nigga, please. And I could low-key feel like Marsau was reveling in the fact that Martell had to come groveling back to him because, you know, like I said, Martell had his chest out with them skeet ass shirts for the first 2 seasons, acting like he was big man on campus and everybody needed him, and now he's running in behind everybody on some you needed me. That nigga on his Rihanna shit. So we then see Kimmy at home with Maurice, and she sits down and tells him what happened between Tisha and KeKe. And Maurice was like, you know, the next thing that's probably gonna happen is niece and daughter are gonna have a conversation with Wanda, and it's not gonna be good. And I was like, ding 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 ding, you are in fact correct. So Kimmy in her confessional says, you know, they've been dealing with arguing and making up for years. Now, remember the video I did on Wanda about a week or so ago, the last video I did on Miss Wanda, where she was sitting in a car talking about how Tisha and KeKe have never had any issues in over 25 years. But lo and behold, that is being shown to be a lie, that they have always had issues with one another. So man, these people just be on this show lying their asses off like people ain't gonna let shit slip or stuff ain't gonna come out. So then we see Destiny going to Maurice's office because she says that her finances have drastically changed after her divorce. So she wants to refinance her home into her name, and she has less than a year to do it. I guess she ended up getting the house in the divorce. So she tells Maurice that she was on assistance after the divorce. And he was like, what, you got a PPP loan? She was like, no, like assistance. So he suggests that she use Madani for alternate businesses to bring in income. And she says that's what the salon suites, and she created a content creative room and a conference room. That's what that will be for. And she says that she's using her personal savings for her business. Now, for anybody out there that has ever been on public assistance, you know for a fact that when you fill out for public assistance, they ask you everything from the rooter to the tutor, goddammit. They asking you, are you employed? What is your hourly wages? Who you work for? Do you have a banking account, checking account, savings account? Do you own a boat? Or were you in the military? Or you're from out of the country? Do you own a house? They ask you everything. And if you lie on the paperwork and say that you don't have any checking or savings, they will run your shit with your social security number and find out if you do. So I'm totally baffled at how she has enough money in her savings to keep these businesses afloat and build suites and stuff, but you didn't have enough money to take care of you and your child. And how were you able to get public assistance if you had a savings that obviously is large enough to keep you afloat with these businesses and to do even more business wise? And like I said, you go down to the damn the public assistance or whatever, you have to put down that you're on this goddamn television show. So they're further gonna look into how much you're making on this show. And who's to say she's probably making, you know, maybe about her first season, maybe about a couple of grand an episode, which isn't much, especially after taxes. But at this point, she should at least be making about $10,000 an episode. I'm just gonna be graceful. But at the end of the day, I'm not understanding this at all, Miss Destiny. Like, I need proof. I need proof, because somebody sound like they lying. They or she either lied on her application. Like, what kind of assistance did you get? Was you getting food stamps? Was you getting cash benefits? Because if you was getting cash benefits, child, then that's a whole nother beast. Was you on WIC? What's going on? And why are you on public assistance when you got the chicken man over there? You ain't getting no alimony in the divorce. You ain't getting no child support in the divorce. File for child support. Like, I'm not understanding this. I'm not understanding what is going on with this situation. Something ain't clean in the milk, and I need proof. So, Maurice then brings up her being into it with Mel, and Destiny says that Mel is into it with her, and she don't know why they are not speaking. And I'm looking at the screen like, is this girl serious? Is she really being serious right now? Like, is she saying this shit with a straight face? I'm like, oh, okay, girl. Okay, I see you. So she says that Mel doesn't pick up her calls when she calls, and that Mel said that Tisha is her enemy. And I'm looking at the television screen once again like, bitch, why are you harboring on this whole she said Tisha was her enemy? Like, that's some new shit. Anybody with 2 eyes and 2 ears know that they don't really get along like that. Yes, they were cordial to each other in season 3, but that still does not mean that we're back good. No, it doesn't. It means that we have a job to do, and we're going to be respectful towards each other when we see each other in these group events. But other than that, we're not filming solo. We don't fuck with each other like that. We're not calling each other outside of work. We're not hanging out with each other like that. So what are you talking about? Like, she keep on harboring on dumb shit to try to make it seem like Mel is so in the wrong. And I'm looking at her like, girl, I see right through you and this foolishness that you're doing, because you're grasping at straws. So Destiny was like, you know, Mel was saying, I would never interfere. I want you to get to know her on your own. And now that it's happening, that's a problem. And I'm like, darling, stop trying to spin the narrative that this girl is mad at you for being cool with Tisha. That wasn't ever the issue. The issue came about when she caught you talking about her, and she caught both of y'all and figured it out after the fact that these two motherfuckers decided to be on some slick shit at this fucking reunion together. That y'all decided to tag team her ass at that fucking reunion. And she realized that your ass had went over to that side and decided to go against her. And anybody with a brain can figure that shit the fuck out. Anybody with a brain. And when she caught you talking about her, I'm pretty sure that's when everything clicked in her brain. So, Destiny girl, have several. So Maurice says, well, knowing what you know about Tisha now, outside of her being Mel's enemy, would you still be her friend? And Destiny was like, yeah. She was like, I went through something the other day and I couldn't even call my friend. I had to call Tisha. And she starts crying. And I'm looking like, I think that Destiny has really tricked herself into believing that she is the victim in this situation. And it is dumbfounding to me. Like, what? Huh? But we'll get more into that in a second. So Destiny, her confession was like, I thought me and Mel would be lifers. Not with the way you act. So We then go to Tisha and Marcel at their office, and Tisha tells Marcel that she wants him to teach Wanda how to run a business if she gonna get this food truck. Of course, he does not want to be bothered with her, but you know, he don't want to hurt Tisha mouth, so he decides to go along with it. He then tells her about Martell wanting to buy back into Scope, and you know damn well Tisha is like, hell to the no, ain't doing that. Because she was like, she don't know if she can trust Martell again, you know, in that capacity. So he proposes that the joint venture on Destiny Sweets, and she was like, you know, that'll be a good way to, you know, for you to see if y'all can work together again. But right now, and I don't blame her. And you know that Marcel didn't want to work with him either in that capacity as well. He just used Tisha as being the one to say no. And then he said also, when he was talking to Tisha, he was like, I mean, because you are a majority owner in Scope. And I've seen on the internet where everybody was saying that all of those businesses are in Tisha's name. And I was like, oh, with that comment, he confirmed it. I was like, oh, so Tisha holds more power than we know. And I'm like, girl, y'all over here, you and Mel was over here running shit, being the owners and having y'all names on shit and letting these niggas treat y'all any kind of way. Girl, I wish a nigga would. I wish a nigga would. So, Mel and Destiny meet up to talk. And here we go. It is fucking WWE WrestleMania in this bitch. So, Destiny walks into the little cafe or whatever. Mel is already there, looking just like Miss Vanessa, child. She looked just like her mom in that scene, which is a compliment, by the way. So Destiny says that, you know, they sit down and she's like, I don't know what's going on between us. I'm looking like, is this bitch really saying this with a straight face that she don't know what's going on between them? And I'm looking at the television screen like, Destiny, do you not remember how you acted a donkey last season towards this girl? You kept on starting shit with her when y'all had that conversation at your house when you was mad at her because she didn't call you to help her with her kids. And if you need me, I'll be there for you. I'll help you watch the kids. And Mel was like, I don't need you to watch my kids. Like, I'm good. And when Mel made the statement, like, my kids don't even like you to watch them because you're boring. Like, she was trying to push herself on the Mel and make it a mountain out of nothing just to have a storyline. And then let's not forget when you didn't even, when you had that event and didn't even ask Mel to be one of the sponsors on some funny shit. She still ended up giving you a check for that. Then at Mel's video release party, you acted an even bigger donkey, bringing up these feelings that you had all along, that you had so-called been harboring. And you even said out of your own mouth in that interview that you did with old girl that runs the Love and Marriage Huntsville page that you had been feeling that way and that the producers had tried to get you to talk to Mel about it, and you kept on saying no. And then you decided, oh, it's the last day of filming, let me do it now. At this girl event, you decide to bring up all these grievances with her and shit, trying to ruin her motherfucking day. Girl, like if y'all go back and watch my reviews from last season, I was telling y'all this girl ain't shit. She's the op and she ain't right and her spirit ain't right. This girl is not right. And come to find out, I was correct. So once again, I'm sitting here like, what you mean you don't know why y'all not talking? Did you not see yourself last season? Like, or was that a clone? Do you have amnesia, sis? So Mel was like, you have no idea what's going on. And Destiny was like, Destiny says that she's heard from other people that Mel has an issue with her. And then we find out that Destiny was doing business with some girl that Melody, knew. And that's how she met the girl, through Melody. And she was about to work with the girl, but everything halted because the girl said she didn't want their project to be overshadowed by the drama between Destiny and Mel. Mel in her confessional was like, my relationship with Destiny is not affecting her business. Most people didn't even know we weren't talking. I myself did not know that they weren't talking until a little bit before filming started, when I really started paying attention to what was going on social media and what other bloggers and stuff was talking about. In between that time of the reunion and, like I said, about maybe a month before the season started, I myself didn't even know that they weren't speaking or anything like that. So, not to say that anybody else didn't know, but I just wasn't paying attention, or I hadn't seen anything out there. So Mel denies telling people not to work with Destiny. Do I think that Mel told this girl not to work with Destiny? I don't believe that she will. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm looking at it from the aspect of a businesswoman myself. If I am seeing shit in the news about somebody I'm about to do business with that could potentially have a negative effect on something that we're trying to do, why would I invest my time and energy in something that might get tampered and tainted, before we can even really get it cracking? So until we can get you back in good favor with the public, let's put a halt on this. That's where I would think that the young lady was coming from, and she could have been doing Destiny a favor, because Destiny, for the most part, is not a likable person. She just is not. So Destiny in her confessional says, of course she said the right words, but how this thing loyalty works is if you're not messing with the person, the other person, but how this loyalty thing works is if you're not messing with a person, the other one doesn't as well. I would categorize that as a master manipulator. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a big statement. So now you're saying that Melody was basically lying, saying that she didn't tell this girl not to work with you, and you're calling her a manipulator? Ooh, okay. Wow, okay. That's a strong statement, sis. So Destiny was like, it felt heavy when she relayed what you felt about me back to me. She wanted to put a pause on what we were doing and said, y'all need to talk. Well, I can't talk to someone that doesn't want to talk. And this is when Mel hit her with the one hitter quitter. Mel was ready, my nigga. Mel ate her ass up, baby. So Mel was like, you have been able to take time away and process things, share what you want when you want, if you want to share it when you're ready, and that's okay. But when I do that, it becomes a problem. Ooh, that was a jab to the face right there. She hit her with a quick jab to the jaw, because that's 100% correct. This is the same person that season 3 didn't even tell her so-called best friend that she had gotten a divorce. The divorce had been over for a month. This somebody that you talk to every day and you don't tell them that you got a fucking divorce. That's some weirdo shit. Who does that? Who does that? But Mel didn't hold it against you. She still was there for you. You could tell she was still low-key kind of like side-eyeing you. Like, that's weird. Okay. But you can pull shit like that. But when I try to, clear my head and, process what's going on, then I'm just the most horrible friend in the world. Oh, okay. Make it make sense. So, Mel said in her confessional, when the season ended, I did pull away to focus on myself, but I didn't abandon Destiny. The first time I heard Destiny being upset or feeling like I wasn't a good friend was at the reunion. So Mel was like, when we were at the reunion and you were asked, how is your relationship now with Melody? Your response was, I don't know. I haven't spoke to her since we wrapped. I heard that and I knew that wasn't accurate. Destiny cocks her head to the side and grins and then looks down at the table, because she knew at that point she had fucked up. You know you're the fucked up, don't you? So Mel pulled out that motherfucking phone and she was like, you making a face at me, so I'm going to show you, Destiny. Me being the person I am, I didn't want to call you a straight up liar on that stage, because I could have. But the facts are, on September 6th, I text you, what's up? You text me, what's up, Mel? Destiny leans back and rolls her eyes. Yeah, bitch, because you been caught. You been caught. Yeah, you about to be locked up. They won't let you out. So Mel was like, mind you, you said you hadn't talked to me at all. September 7th, I responded on my way to the Ville. What you got up? You didn't respond. September 8th, I wrote you again. Morning, rise and grind. What you up to this morning? You said just chillaxing. This was like, I didn't say that. I don't even use the word chillaxing. And Mel was like, girl, you said it. Then I said, you up yet? So I guess you didn't send me this picture either. Destiny was like, I did. And so Mel was like, this is our thread. I'm not going to fake no thread, girl. Like, really, sis? Really? So Mel was like, you sent me this picture of you on somewhere by some water and said, much needed. I said, yes, good for you. You deserve it. Let's pause right here, because from that picture, she looked like she was at a really fancy hotel, maybe even a resort. For somebody that's on assistance and struggling, I'm not understanding how she is able to do all of these things. Just make it make sense. Do the bitch got a sugar daddy? Like, what is going on? Like, how is she able? Because I remember when I was on assistance, I wasn't at no pool like that, lounging. Like, make it make sense. And even if you looked at the text thread on the screen, because they showed screenshots of it on the screen, you saw Destiny say, she was having a good time, but she just missing her baby and worried about her baby. And Melody was like, girl, he gonna be fine. You need this, just chill and just relax or whatever. So mind you, also, this whole time, Destiny pretty much was sitting there on mute. Destiny was sitting there looking like a child that looked like, I know I'm about to get a whooping. I know I done fucked up. I done lied and I done been caught. And she looked guilty. She couldn't even say shit, because what was there to say? You've been caught in your fucking lies. You sat up there and straight up said you had not heard from me since we ended filming, which was a bold-faced motherfucking lie. Bold-faced motherfucking lie. Why would you even sit there and lie like that? Why? Like, I don't have proof that we have talked, which is crazy to me. So Mel then says, then on September 10th, I said, hey, just making sure you're good. Destiny looked off to the side, and Mel was like, don't be rude. Destiny's like, I'm sorry, what? And Mel was like, don't be rude. This was like, first of all, I'm grown. My conversation was, we hadn't talked. So you can read all the text messages you want, because it don't matter. So now it's gone from you hadn't heard from her, period, to now y'all talk via text, but y'all hadn't physically talked on the phone. So that's why you said you hadn't heard from her. It don't even make sense, girl. What you're saying absolutely does not make sense. You were caught in a lie, and you ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Like, now she trying to sit up here and say, I was talking about we hadn't talked physically on the phone. Girl, like, at that point, you should have just said, I fucked up. I was fucked up. I was feeling some type of way. I was mad, and I don't even know what I was going through. Because you look crazy, girl. You look crazy as hell. And it once again shows that you were using Mel for a storyline. Because your ass didn't want to spill your real true tea about what the fuck was going on over there with you and that nigga. And why he left you literally 2 weeks after you gave birth to his fucking son. Your ass didn't want that tea to come out. And you were probably embarrassed. And it's probably a gang of shit that you don't want the world to know. And so who can I get into it with on the show, cause an issue with? See, I think you know what this is, y'all? Ooh, I just had an Oprah aha moment. And I hope this is a video that Carlos King watches, because you know what Destiny tried to pull, y'all? She tried to pull a Jill Zarin. If you watch Real Housewives of New York, she tried to pull a Jill Zarin. Remember how season 1 of Real Housewives of New York, her and Bethany were besties. They were the dynamic duo. And then season 2, Jill decided to bring her ass back to the show and create this fake beef with Bethany, And Bethany wasn't in on it. She thinking that this girl really got a problem with her. But lo and behold, the whole time it was Jill deciding to create beef with Bethany for a storyline, and not only ended up tarnishing her own image, but tarnishing somebody that was a real true friend to her and their friendship. And I know she regrets that shit to this day. And I feel like that is what Destiny tried to do. She created this fake ass beef with Mel. And she thought that, it ain't gonna go that far. We'll be able to, make up or whatever. And it backfired on her. Because none of this makes sense. All the stuff that she's saying that she's upset about doesn't make sense. The lies don't even add up. None of it adds up. So that has to be what it was, that she decided, I'm going to use this girl for a storyline. I ain't going to go too hard with the shit. Just hard enough where it'll cause some problems, but we'll be able to make back up. And it backfired on her ass. Boy, I swear I'm a genius. That's exactly what the hell is going on here. Because none of this shit makes sense, God damn it. Back to the damn episode. So, where was I at? Mel was like, well, if it don't matter, then we don't even have to have this conversation. And this is like, we don't. Mel was like, because the fact of the matter is, I allowed you to tell a falsehood, and not only that, let you run with that narrative. Then after that, I'm never one to sway people on who to chill with. Destiny says, well, you should have if she was your enemy. Girl, stop trying to make fetch a thing. That is not the issue. She don't give a fuck about you being friends with Tisha. It's about the fact that you decided to talk about me to a bitch that I don't get along with like that. Like she told you, you could be friends with her all day till you blue in the face. Leave me the fuck out of it. I should have never caught you in your room talking about me to somebody that I don't fuck with like that. That's the issue. Not the fact that you're friends with Tisha, darling. She knows this, but she's trying to play dumb. And that's what's pissing me off even more. So Mel was like, you knew how me and her relationship was. And Destiny gonna sit up there and bold-faced lie and say, I didn't know. Oh, you're lying. Lying again. Tisha even said in her interview with the girl from Love and Marriage Huntsville IG page that when she met Destiny, she kept her distance because that was Mel's friend. And she knew how her and Mel's relationship was. It was contentious, so she didn't even want to get involved in all of that. So how you don't know that they had beef? You knew that they had beef. You came into the show not even really fucking with Tisha because you knew they had beef. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Destiny, get off this show and get your life in order. Because girl, the one thing that we the viewers hate is when people get on television and start trying to play a character or a role and they're not being their real, true, authentic self. And she is playing a character. She's not being her real, true self. And it's showing. And I don't like it. You're wasting our time. You're not even showing us the real you, what you got going on in your life or nothing. Girl, bye. So Mel was like, you've known. I still looked at you in that moment like a friend, but when I stepped away and thought about, like, I would never say anything negative about this girl to nobody, especially somebody I know she ain't even that cool with. Destiny in her confessional says, if Tisha is her enemy, then you shouldn't have been okay with us forging a friendship. Because if I really felt some way about it, that's something your friend should know. Now she trying to play like she didn't know that Mel and Tisha had issues. You don't remember the kumbaya y'all had with that crazy therapist lady when they went back and forth and you was sitting right there? Like, you don't remember none of this? Okay, girl. So Mel was like, so anybody over here allying with my ops ain't being a village for me. When we on the phone and you talking about this, your ex beeping me, and he done already said y'all talking every day. Now let's go back to when she said, so anybody over here allying with my ops ain't being a village for me. It ain't about when she made that comment, because people like to run with shit. When she made that comment, I can guarantee 100% when she said anybody over here allying with my ops ain't being a village for me, she wasn't saying being friends with somebody that I'm cool with. allying mean teaming up with that bitch to go against me. That's what she meant, and that's what obviously her and Tisha did at that fucking reunion. So then, like I said, she brings up the Martell situation, and this was like, damn well that's a lie. I don't talk to Martell every day. Mel was like, I don't know if he talks to you every day. And Destiny was like, but you know better than that. And Mel was like, no, I don't. And at this point, no, she doesn't know, because who are you even? And let's not forget that Mel said in that interview that she did with the YouTuber that I posted audio from about 2 weeks ago. She said that when she and Martell was married, she had never heard of Destiny until around 2015. She had never heard about her. They never talked on the phone. Her and Martell didn't even know this girl existed until like 2015. So all of this, I knew him before I knew you. It's not like they were best friends and yeah, they just literally went to school with each other and knew each other. That's literally what this is. So Destiny was just as much Mel's friend as she was Martell. This wasn't no long standing friendship that they had for years. No. So that's why Mel feels some type of way, because bitch, you just as much as my friend as you are his. So Mel was like, no, I don't. You told me he's pulled up at your house. Why would you talk to someone who goes on social media and dog me out and pretty much kill me over every single day? I would feel some type of way about that as well. You know how this man treat me. Why the fuck do you even correspond with him? Because once again, like I just stated, Destiny and Martell didn't have no long-standing friendship, my nigga. So Destiny was like, if you got a problem with it, then you should have said it. Mel was like, I ain't gotta say it. That's common damn sis. Your ex can't reach out to me about anything because of my loyalty to you. And that's some real honest true tea. Especially when Mel alluded to that they had been through some shit over there. To the point where she was like, let me block this nigga. I ain't got shit to say to him, because she didn't like the way he was treating Destiny. And that's how you supposed to ride with your friends. So Destiny in her confession was like, I knew Martell first. We should be able to have adult relationships and separate the two. Okay, girl. Okay, so let Mel start kicking it then with your ex-husband. Let her start talking to him. Let her start pulling up over his house and see how you feel. Girls, shut up. So Mel was like, when a comment was made, I just don't think Mel knows how to be a good friend, because when she's going through things, that she comes around, and when she's not, she's not. And they flash back to Tisha making that comment at the reunion. And then you see Carlos King ask Destiny how she feels about that. And she was like, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gone through that with her. I just don't know. What you mean you don't know? And so Mel was like, you could have chimed in and said, Mel has been a damn good friend to me. And to be honest, she could have said that, but she didn't. So Destiny was like, that's between y'all. And Mel was like, so if that's between us, but you go and talk to her in your room about me after that. So once again, make it make sense. Destiny says Mel was standing outside her hotel door. That's how she heard their conversation. And she was like, no, I wasn't. I was literally next door to you. My room was next door to yours. That's how I heard it. And Destiny was like, so if you was next door to me the night before, you didn't hear my aunt say I need to be careful with you as a friend? Mel was like, I didn't hear nothing. And she was like, I looked at you like a sister, and then I heard you talking shit about me. Destiny's like, you know I wasn't talking about you. And Destiny's like, if you had a problem with it, then when we had brunch, why you didn't say it? Mel was like, when we had brunch, you said I was talking shit about you because I was in my feelings about not hearing and talking to you. And that's what she literally had just said 5 minutes before in the conversation, that she was mad because they hadn't physically talked on the phone. So I believe what Mel is saying. I believe that Destiny is a flat out fucking lie. So Destiny denies it and calls Mel condescending. And Mel was like, well, you're aggressive. So Destiny was like, Lord have mercy. And Mel was like, he's having mercy. Mel was like, I thank you for coming, Destiny. I thank you for coming. Thank you. This was nice. And so Destiny was like, You know, friends have season. It is what it is. And Mel was like, thank you for coming. So Destiny was like, God bless you. And Mel was like, oh, he is. Mel hit her ass with that, oh, he is. No worries over here, darling. That's why you're in the predicament that you're in right now. And I'm continuing to be blessed. So Destiny was like, and I love you and I pray for you from a distance. And Mel was like, please, don't pray for me. Every prayer ain't a good prayer. It'll come back to you. Whatever you're praying, times 2 times 3. She was like, I got coins to make, not friends to fake. No. And so remember, Carlos said that in the last 5 seconds, Mel was going to say something iconic. And it was that line that I got coins to make, not friends to fake. And that's some real true shit. When you a businesswoman out here on your grind, girl, you ain't got time to be arguing with nobody you ain't fucking and ain't paying your bills. And that you don't pray to. I ain't going to be arguing with no female. Secondly, and especially not sit up here and be going back and forth with some shit where I know you fucking lying on me. Girl, I'm over here trying to get to the bag. I ain't got time for a bunch of foolishness. If you don't get somewhere and sit down, baby, this episode was everything. Mel got Destiny the fuck together and exposed her for the liar she fucking is. At this point, I want Destiny off the show because she's not authentic. She is literally playing a character. She's not giving us who she is. She's not really giving us her real life. She has not told us what's going on with her and her ex-husband. She feels like the divorce is over, so why talk about it? Girl, because it's what you signed up for. We only got to meet her daddy. We ain't never met no family. Like, she need to go. She need to go. And now that she's been exposed for being a fucking liar and faking shit, like, what are you here for? Oh, for a check? And goddamn me, if you did get a fucking assistant, they about to lock your ass the fuck up for lying. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Overall, I give tonight's episode an A+. It was everything that I needed and more. It gave me life. If you all have not checked out my interview with Brittany Silva from Love and Marriage DC and Irena and Jamie Tyler from Love and Marriage DC, they're up right now. Check them out before the season starts next month, May 14th. I have some other interviews coming up soon with some other cast members and maybe some people from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Your girl is working. Love you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. I love you guys and I will see you on the next video. Bye.